What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Long time no see. It is currently March 28th, and Journey Together just came out, and I decided I'm going to open one of these booster boxes on camera for YouTube and hopefully get something good. So let's jump right into it. First things first, Enzareshiram. Cool. Set that off to the side. And let's begin. So it's been a little while because I've been busy running the business and I have a day job, so it gets busy, you know, doing two things with your life. And yeah, so I've just kind of been on autopilot a bit. Doing my best to balance both. This might be a little too bright. No, maybe brighter. Doing my best to balance both. Ooh, beautiful little swine nub. Doing my best to balance both things, and just trying to keep on top of all of my responsibilities as they come in, type of thing. Just adult stuff. Yeah. So it's been a while, and part of it is also just because I don't really like doing too many openings. Pokemon in particular, you lose a lot of money in a lot of cases. I don't think there is any positive. I mean, I have to run the numbers, but I don't think there is a profitable way to open Pokemon if you're not like doing rip and ships or something like that. Veluza. So yeah, it's I'm trying to run a business here. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to I have a dream of opening a game store. It's a dream I've had since I was like 10 or 11. It's been and I'm 31 now, so it's been a while. And yeah, it's just something that I have a bit of a passion for, and I really want to have succeed. And to succeed, you have to make money, and to make money, to be completely honest, you don't open Pokemon to make money. You do it for fun. You do it for content, and that's how I prefer to look at things. I don't like opening Pokemon for money, both in the sense that it's not monetarily wise, and also just it kind of ruins the allure of opening packs to do it for views or money or whatever. So, but the reason I'm doing this is because I want to, well, I don't want to have an empty store, I want to offer something to people. But the main thing is that I gotta buy what I can in order to in order to have Pokemon, I have to mostly buy and sell sealed, and then the occasional bulk deal whenever those show up. Will be, oh, nice. Element EX full art. That's really dope. Yeah, so sealed in bulk is kind of how you make money in Pokemon. And obviously I don't have a distributor, so selling sealed is rough. But also I don't have a reliable source for bulk, so doing bulk is also a bit tough. So I've mostly just been doing Magic, which is kind of interesting because that is very profitable to open in many cases. You wouldn't think it, but once you sell off all the hits and then all the bulk, you get quite a bit of you get quite a bit of profit at the end after fees and all that. So if you know what to open, if you know what you're doing, you know how to price things, you know how to get things to sell, you can make a nice chunk of money opening Magic the Gathering. That's not something you can say about a lot of games. Like, for example, I opened Yu-Gi-Oh! The other day, the new Maze of the Masters set, and I'm gonna be lucky if I break even. It was pretty bad, and I'm not sure how much of that is the fault of Konami with their reprint policy, and how much of that is just, you know, the game's just not in a healthy state, or whatever it is. It's not something I really keep track of. It's just something that I decided to do because, you know, I used to love the game, and I figured, you know, why not sell some singles and offer that to people to buy, so that they don't have to risk their money opening booster boxes and getting absolutely decimated. So yeah, that's how things have been going so far. You know, business has been doing really well. In fact, I sold off both my Mewtwo GX Shining Secret from, what was it? Shining Legends? Something like that. I did a video a while back, but I never posted it because the promo was mangled, and it made me mad, so I ended up not posting the video, which is kind of funny in retrospect because that promo is basically still worth only $10 today, and then Mewtwo has made me significantly more money than that. So it is funny, the things that money do, and you can get caught up being upset about small little things that don't have much monetary impact, but they have an emotional impact. So, it obviously feels like crap to open a box of Pokemon and the promo that you were promised is, bent in half. In fact, I still have the bent promo. I might go grab it real quick to show you guys what I mean by bent in half. But yeah, it was not an enjoyable experience, to say the least. Nice little Mamoswine EX. Yeah, and the other card I sold. So I got a PSA 9. That's the grade that came back for the Mewtwo. Sold that for $425 on eBay. So once you take out the fees and all that, I made about $350-ish. And this came out of a single $50 ETB. So that was a nice little profit plus waiting, because it was sitting at around under 100 for a while. And then the other card was the Lost Origin Giratina, which, funnily enough, I got from a single blister from Target, and I was originally thinking like, oh, should I do an opening video for this? And I was like, it's just one blister, I'm just gonna open it, whatever. And then I saw the card, I was like, oh, cool, Giratina, Altart, you know, let me, ooh, Hops Woo. That's a nice little, speaking of Altarts, it's a nice little illustration right there. You know, I was like, oh, it's a nice little card, whatever. And then I look up the price, and I, you know, had a bit of a heart attack, because like, why is this card $400, or was $400? It's now even more expensive today. But yeah, I got that, came back a PSA 9, sold that for just under 600 is what I ended up settling for after listing it and reducing the prices. The prices of some of these cards, especially the PSA 9s, haven't they've been kind of stagnant the past few months, which is interesting, considering the sealed market is still so insane. But yeah, so that sold for 100 less than I would have liked. After fees, you know, I get $500. You know, I'm still in the green and still making profit. I literally got it from a single pack. But you know, you do have to also take into account the many dud packs that came before and since. You know, and that's what you got to base your, if you're trying to make money off of this, that's what you got to base your values off of. Goro, Ann's Castle, Opsation EX. Oops. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I am now on TCG Player Pro, which means I have a pro store that you can buy from more directly, and there's a lower fee, but also the prices are a little bit lower, just to encourage people to buy from there instead of the marketplace. So if you are interested in buying some cards, definitely hit up my TCG Player store, link in description. And there you'll find all kinds of Magic and Pokemon, mostly Magic, but these cards, for example, are going to be uploaded immediately to TCG Player. And I have some book that I still have to get through for Pokemon. Quite a few cards that I just haven't really processed because the amount of Magic I go through is, you know, like an order of magnitude higher, probably 2 orders of magnitude higher. But yeah. Speaking of magnitudes, I have listed now 45,000 individual cards on TCG Player. Ends PP up. Ooh, double ends PP up. His PP is up. Yeah, so I have 45,000 cards listed on there. I have another 400 something on eBay. eBay's where my more expensive cards go, just because I like to have, you know, pictures of the more expensive stuff so you can see exactly what you're getting most of the time. Sometimes I because of the way eBay works. If there's multiple cards, I have to sell them as a single listing. So in that case, you'll see what one of the cards looks like. But for the most part, ooh, I just flung cards across my desk. For the most part, what you see is what you get. And then if you ever wanted to, you can always message me and see, but with like the specific inventory, if you really cared about that type of thing. So far, no one's bothered, but I'm sure at some point I'll have someone who will see a listing for a certain card where I have multiples, and they'll be asking to see pictures of. Ooh, Iris's Fighting Spirit. They'll be asking to see pictures, I'm sure. There's the Pokemon collectors are. I say that like I'm not one, but they're very particular. If it's not, minimum PSA 8, PSA 9. The price falls off a cliff. PSA 10s have such a massive premium, it's kind of insane. Probably in clouds there. And so there's kind of a massive play right now, and kind of has been for a little bit, to try to regrade the same card as many times as possible. If it's a PSA 9, try and get a PSA 10. Maybe the guy at PSA slips up one day and just gives it a 10. I'm assuming that's what they're hoping, and I don't like that. I don't partake in that. I think it's a bit shady. It's not a real PSA 10. It's not a real 10 in any company, which is why I had so much hope for tags. But their slabs are not as rigid, strong, protective as I would have liked. So there's still many companies that have issues to this day. So it still seems like PSA is king, at least for now. We'll see how that turns out in the next few years, because there's tons of grading companies, popping up like every day, basically. So we'll see what happens in that space. It will be interesting because I do like the numerical, calculable, this card got this grade because of this and that, and here's exactly the imperfections, and here's how much they impact the score. My mouth is dry. Ooh, nice. Lycanroc illustration rare. And yeah, it will be interesting to see more companies take that numerical. I don't like using the AI word. I don't like saying AI because it's not. It's a mathematical analysis, really. It's not an AI. It's not like these diffusion models that make these horrible images, or LLMs that make the driest writing you've ever heard of in your life. It's not either of those, and I feel like using the hype word it's a disservice, honestly. It really is. The technology behind it is not the same. To call it AI, I feel is just bad marketing at this point. But I do have a lot of hope for that space, because I'm a believer that that type of thing is what's going to stop a lot of these regrading attempts. And not just because, you know, these people want their PSA 9s to be PSA 10s, but also because there's more accountability. There's you know, you can see exactly why it got the grade it got. You can it shows you every single defect on the card, on the surface of the card. You can zoom in. You can do a lot of things, and it's very intriguing how they're able to do some of this, and I really hope that more companies are become more open to this type of, you know, just transparent grading of cards, because you know it's not that I care that much about it. I'm fine with the PSA 9. It's that a lot of people care, and there's thousands and millions of dollars that go into this industry, and you know, your grades need to be foolproof. They can't, yeah. But I'm rambling. Business has been going so good lately. We're getting not a single special illustration rare. It's kind of sad to see, but that's kind of what I've been hearing are the pull rates between one to two per box. Sorry, one per 1 to 2 boxes on illustration rares. Maybe more like 1.5 boxes seems to be the rate. So yeah, that's, you know, it's disheartening, but it's not surprising, if that makes sense. The Dunsparce. I forgot where I was going with that. I'm just gonna keep opening cards and silent while I try to regain what I was trying to talk about. So Magic is definitely, you know, it's making me a quite a bit of money, and it is very nice to have a consistent way to get, you know, not only get product for a reasonable price, but a consistent way to make a profit opening boxes, sorting, and doing all that work. Because ultimately, you know, what things should be priced should be, you know, how much effort and work goes into them. That's the labor theory of value. And so if I go through the effort of opening a booster box, I should get back both the initial investment I put in to buy the booster box, but also something on top for going through the booster box. That's how I think it should work, and that's currently how it works in Magic. Ooh, another full art Namaswine. And so I'm not sure how it works more so in the declining market. That I'm not too sure on how opening product works in a market like that, but in a market like this, it definitely, I feel like it probably works even better in a declining market, because then you have sealed product that is below distributor cost sometimes, and cards that are still valuable because people play the game very competitively. They take the game very seriously, and maybe they want one or two cards from a set, but they don't want an entire booster box. That's where people like me come in and basically offer this service of taking the risk, going through the booster boxes, opening them up, getting all the good cards, getting good pictures of them, or just listing them on TCG Player, either way, getting them packaged, shipped, paying for shipping, all the way across the country to whoever needs them. And I think that is not only a great business model, but I feel like it's a business model that deserves to thrive so long as a game is thriving. Because people play Magic and they can make quite a bit of money just playing Magic. Probably not like quit your job, be super famous, millions of dollars, every year, money, but you can definitely, if you're good enough, get free booster boxes and stuff and make back easily make back the money you put in and get something for your time. And so yeah, that's how things have been for me. This is all the hits from this booster box. Kind of a bit of a light box compared to what I've seen online. Unfortunate, but that's how it is. And so the question is, where do I go from here? Where do I want to go from here? And I've been trying to figure out, because I have limited space, so I can't just be selling bulk all day forever. There's just not enough space to hold all that bulk. It's very low density in terms of value, and it very low density in terms of return as well. And it's certainly something that you can make money on, but it's not something that you can it's something you can make money on, but you need to be able to have the space for it, is what I'm trying to say. And currently I do not have that kind of space, so I am trying to look at other ways to flush more product through my inventory, like bulking out a lot of these lower value cards, instead of listing them all individually, just taking everything out that's like under 10 cents or something like that. And we'll see what happens with that. Honestly, it has been kind of crazy, just the profit I've seen just open. Well, yeah, profit, but I'm technically still in the red, but profit like per set, like the amount of money that like Outlaws of Thunder Junction, for example, makes is kind of nuts, especially for a set that everyone appears to hate on the surface. But the cards are good. The cards are powerful. Players need them for their decks. So here I am opening up Outlaws and putting in the work to get them to the people that are willing to pay to juice up their deck with those cards. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough rambling. This has been going on for like 30 minutes now, so I'm gonna say, if you want any of these cards, these will probably be on eBay, unless they're under $3. In that case, they'll just be on TCG Player. All this bulk will be on TCG Player. I know there's plenty of players who need trainers and stuff for their decks. So go ahead and hit me up if you'd like. If you enjoyed this content, that's the best way to support me, is to buy from me. But yeah, if you need any of this book, I'll have it on my store, thetatealtrading.tcgplayerpro.com. Everything else will be in the description. There'll be a link tree there with links to everything. And so yeah, that does it. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.